Hi, hello, and welcome to the Butterfly Effect podcast. And I'll tell you what, I quit social media, all of it, for 1 month. Not because I hate it, not because it's stupid or childish, but because it literally made my brain rot like a rotten tomato. It made me feel stupid. It made me lose my focus. It made me lose my personality a little bit, to be fair. It made me feel addicted. The social media was controlling how I spent my life, my time, and what kind of information I'm receiving and what kind of thoughts I'm thinking. And I decided to cut it. And I'll tell you exactly how I did it today in this video. Honestly, I just want to share it with someone who feels absolutely the same as I felt. And I've tried all the tricks, I've tried all the hacks, and I'll tell you exactly what worked and what didn't. So let's start. First of all, this video is for you if you feel like it's harder for you to recall words, to find words to express what you want to say. You feel like you're literally getting more stupid in a way that you're not able to communicate the way you were, you're not able to gather information the way you did, you're not able to produce anything the way you did, for example, like writing an essay or doing a task or even having a decent conversation, intelligent conversation, right? This video is for you if you feel like you've been in a freaking bubble of the specific content, specific narrative that just supports your narrative, and there is a big wide world behind it that you not really have an access, or you trying not to access, you're willingly not accessing, and you feel like that's not exactly the way we're supposed to live. Like, we are not supposed to live in a sort of like information bubble, but we need to see it all. We need to see the world for the way it is. And social media creates this kind of bubble for you just to hold you longer and hold you tighter. This video is for you if you feel like you got addicted, like you are absolutely not controlling and you can't control how long do you use your social media, for how long you scroll. You tell yourself, I'm gonna just quickly check my messages or check my friends' stories, and you find yourself 3 hours later in some rabbit hole of who's selling ice in Iceland. And this is the feeling that I'm wasting my life, literally, and I want to get my time back, because the currency that you're paying with, it's your time, and it's quite precious, especially in this reality, like no one knows for how long we're gonna exist. So let me tell you some story. Why exactly did I quit my social media? And let's see if we're aligned on this point. So 1 month ago, I find myself on all these things, all the pieces of the list that I shared with you. I was addicted. I couldn't stop scrolling. I reached to my phone in any moment of the time when I felt just a little bit bored. I couldn't focus on reading books, and I love reading books. I couldn't even read one page. I was absolutely not able to maintain my focus. I was reading the same sentence for 4 times, and I wasn't able to even to comprehend what it tells me. I found myself being so freaking multitasking, but in a bad way. So I had to watch a TV, scroll my phone, and maybe even thinking about doing some other task at the same time. So I will actually stay in the present moment, because it wasn't stimulating enough for me to just watch a movie or to just scroll my phone. I needed action to keep going, which means that my dopamine system and my nervous system was like, pooh, absolutely all over the place. And I'll tell you later how exactly the dopamine system and the nervous system works when we use social media, because the strategy behind it is so brilliant, but it's so harmful that I guess once you know it, it will be easier for you to not really see social media as an enemy, but see social media as sort of like an alcohol. It can be fun, it can be nice, it can be beautiful old wine that you can taste and make a sip and have one glass on a holiday and just really enjoy, or it can be like I don't know, the not really decent vodka that will put you into the ambulance. So first thing first, how exactly social media hooks you and how exactly it keeps you in this infinite scrolling mode. So first of all, if you're older than 25, same as me, I guess, you will remember how feed wasn't really endless. It really did had an end just the recent, like a couple of years ago, which means that you'll be scrolling all of your friends' posts, and it was majority of the friends' posts, not celebrities, not ads, not influencers. It was people that you actually know. That's why it was fun. Now it's not really fun anymore that much. So you've been scrolling, and in like an hour or two, it will tell you there's all the posts for today. There is no more to see, no more to look. Go and live your life. And you're like, yes, miss, that's what I'm doing. But now the feed is infinite on TikTok and Instagram and other apps, which literally leaves us with the feeling like we don't feel time anymore. We don't even know how much actually time we're spending while scrolling those feed, because they entertain us, right? The guy who created this infinite feed idea, the brilliant mind from some kind of Silicon Valley, he admitted that the idea behind it was pretty innocent and pretty cool, but the way TikTok, who was first app to implement it, use it and build the behind mechanism to create some sort of like a dopamine slot machine, really made the most harmful mechanism that existed so far. How exactly the mechanism works? So if you ever play slot machines, either like pressing the button or pressing this kind of thing, the goal is to hit all 3 coins, for example. All 3 coins is when you find this amazing video that's really full of value, that's really so deep and thoughtful and gives you the insight that you wanted to hear. Or, for example, you've been looking for a cooking recipe and that's exactly what you've been looking for. Or you've been looking some sort of information and that's exactly it. So it answers your request fully, 100%, and you feel this deep satisfaction that you found what you've been looking for. This is your 3 coins on the monitor, on the screen. And then your mind tells you, what if there is more of this valuable and amazing information and it's so easy to access, you just had to scroll. So you're scrolling, aka you're pressing the slot machine, and you start to get like chickens, pigs, boxes, 3 coins, 1 coin, half a coin, blah, blah, blah. Any kind of bullshit that doesn't match your 3 coins in a row sequence. And that's exactly how social media works. You're scrolling through 1 valuable video, then 2 bullshit videos. Like you scroll and you get some thought that you've been looking for, something that you feel aligned, and then a bunch of very random videos that might be entertaining, might be like horrifying, but emotional. But you keep scrolling because this hope that there is a reward, that there is this another valuable video is somewhere there. And that's exactly how it hooks you. That's exactly how it traps you. Another way how it traps you is even deeper. It requires me to use words like dopamine system and neurological consequences. But let me just really simplify it for you. Dopamine is basically a hormone that's responsible for our happiness. It's connected to our motivation system. It basically tells us that we are satisfied, that we achieved something, that we'll feel happy, joy, and we just generally like feeling great. And most of the things that we do in our life we do for the purpose of receiving this dopamine system. For example, when we work and we achieve some tasks, we feel this dopamine spike, literally a happiness spike, right? When we're in a romantic relationship, our dopamine is like skyrocketing because we spend so much time with the person we genuinely like. But in a social media, dopamine is a little bit different. You can see it as, for example, there is a one kind of dopamine, which is, let's use the metaphor of steak, nice, juicy, grass-fed beef steak, absolutely amazing. I'm sorry, my vegetarian followers, I hope it don't hurt your feelings, but this is the real food. This is something that will keep you full for hours. And there is a frozen, half natural, half some kind of paper beef that also looks like beef, smells like beef, supposed to be beef, but not really beef, and it's not going to keep you full for a while. And also together with this, you get some, harmful elements and stuff. So this is exactly the frozen beef. That's exactly the kind of dopamine that social media has, because the videos there, the reels, for example, the information is so short that it creates this mini little one dopamine spike, like little one, that it's enough for your system to feel it, to react on it, but not enough to keep you fulfilled with it for a while. So you keep going back for more. It's like someone will just throw you one marshmallow after another instead of giving you like a good, decent piece of cake. It's just like they keep feeding you bites, they keep feeding you crumbs. That is why exactly our brain just gets addicted. That's exactly how addiction works, when we keep wanting more. And on that point, you're already in a system, you're hooked and you're trapped so deeply that without it, you actually feel like an addictive person without their stuff. You feel numb, you feel bored, you feel stressed, anxious, you feel tired, you feel unhappy, and generally it definitely comes to a whole sensation of meaningless and misery without it. So even though you understand how harmful it is, even though you remember that you used to be happy even without it, without the whole social media, now you really struggle to remember how exactly that worked. So that's exactly what happened with me. That's maybe something that you're going through or went through. And today I'll tell you what to do with it, basically, because I've been able to stay away from social media for over a month. I'm not counting days, but I guess like a month and a week. And I've been fine. I'll tell you, I'm reading 3 books at the same time because I still need a lot to keep my nervous system entertained. I'm watching long videos. I'm watching like 8-season series. I'm going for walks. I'm looking at the sky for 10 minutes. I'm meditating again. And I'll tell you that mentally, emotionally, I feel so much better. I feel so much more in peace, so much more connected to myself, and very proud of myself because my mind feels clean. I don't know if you can understand this feeling, but it's like there was tons of trash in my head. All of those events that I don't even need to know, what kind of, squirrel got trapped in the tree in Africa, or all of these opinions, all of this trends that finish after 2 days, all of these people with their achievements that really make me feel like I'm not enough and I need to hustle more. All of these things that social media is full. Obviously, there's lots of valuable content, and I hope that I'm creating some sort of it as well. But again, it's like there is a treasure in the ocean full of trash. And fishing for this treasure gets harder and harder, especially if maybe you're still in your younger years, maybe still your opinions are shaky and you feel like any different opinion just hits you out of your balance, hits you out of your legs. So what to do step by step? First of all, what not to do. Don't think that you can quit it just using your willpower. For example, I'm deleting the app and I'm not going to use it, and I'm just going to close my eyes and try my best to just not do this. Willpower is not something that will help you in the long run. Why? Because it's limited. Why? Because it's not fueled by motivation. It's not really connected to your deep feelings. Willpower is something actually that will help you to make the first boost, the first step, the first jump. So you can use willpower to just, for example, delete the apps or to start implementing all those things that I'll be talking about. But on the long run, willpower is not really your companion. Your companion is deep understanding why you're doing what you're doing. I hope that all the information that I just told you on this past, 10 minutes, will give you this deep enough understanding, not only why it is harmful, but also why would you choose something different? Why would you implement some sort of limitations or rules or boundaries with social media? Because it's not that harmless as we all been thinking. And it's time for you to take responsibility for your own life, for your own brain, for your time spent, for your time management, and really do actions. So willpower will help you to make an action. So what actually can you do to make not only your attitude and your relationship with social media better, but generally your relationship with the whole technology nowadays better. First of all, something that I did a long time ago and I really advise it to you is turn off those notifications. Really, we've been notified about literally everything way too much, especially if you have, for example, like a watch like this, so it vibrates all the time, even if you don't have sound on your phone, vibrates all the time, telling you absolutely everything, every new email, every other person who commented on your anything, all the deals, all the blah blah blah. Unsubscribe from old unneeded emails, turn off all of your notifications, and literally I just left the calls, the messages, and my email. Basically, the most important thing that I don't want to miss. Everything else, I don't really care. Second thing is actually most important thing is the hygiene of how actually you use your phone. I will tell you that most of the thing that everyone is doing is, first of all, after you woke up, you go and you check your phone. You check the time and then you unlock it and then you just start to check everything that happened during the night that you don't want to miss. And that's exactly when our brain, our mind, and our nervous system is the most fragile. We just woke up, we're still in a very, let's say, sensitive, very gentle mode. And the amount of information that we start to bombard ourselves through our phone is just way too overwhelming. Have you had this thing that you're waking up after a night's sleep, you feel actually really happy, you see there's the sun outside, you see it through the window, and you're like very optimistic about the coming day, and then you open your phone and you see some messages from your boss with some questions that you wouldn't really want to see. You see some bad news that something happened during the night, you see some meetings canceled, or I don't know, like payments done or whatever, and that just decreases your mood dramatically, and then you're already this sad, overwhelmed, anxious, tired person literally 5 minutes after you woke up. That's not the way how you want to start your day, and same, that's not the way how you want to finish your day. So the thing that I advise to my clients and that I will advise to you as well is to have your routine that does not include phone time in the morning. First 1 hour after you woke up, that's no phone time, really. That's something that will change your life for the best, that will set you for the best mental state possible for the upcoming day. So first hour after you woke up, what can you do? Drink warm water to start your digestion. Do stretching, yoga, movement, any kind of movement just to wake up your body. If you live in a warm climate, go outside barefoot, step on the soil, step on the grass, look at the sun, charge your vitamin D, charge your batteries. We're supposed to live like this, so it's actually really charging. True. Or just have a very quiet, peaceful, nice breakfast with your loved ones, with your cat, with your dog, with yourself, doesn't really matter, but without watching something, without consuming new information. Allow your brain to start the day clean. That will be a game changer for you. And the same when you finish your day. 1-2 hours before going to bed, you want to calm yourself down. That's the time to finally stop the flow of information, which includes also series, movies, and news, anything else that spikes your nervous system and makes it work actively. So you want to come back home and don't use the up light, the very active light. You want to use like a lower level light, for example, a small lamp or just like a candles or whatever, something very calm, something that will tell your brain that this is evening time, because we used to be like a very natural creatures. We used to wake up with the sun and go to sleep when the sun goes down. Now, because of all the electricity and all the lamps that we have in, the sun literally cannot go down any time. So because of that, you need to create this effect artificially, which means that you have to turn down the power of the light in your house, which will help you to have a better sleep. And better sleep is the key for everything. While we sleep, all of our hormones are starting to go in places. The serotonin is produced. The melanin is produced. The deep sleep actually helps our our neurons to build new connections. That's why they say that we learn when we sleep. That's actually basically true. Also, our memory floats all the bullshit that it doesn't need during our sleep, so it processes. That's why sometimes you have very creepy dreams about God knows what happens there, because your subconscious just makes this one big cleaning for you, so you will wake up only with essential important information. So to have this great sleep, turn off TV, turn off your phone, put it on the sleep mode, or even set it up automatically. After some time it will go automatically to the sleep mode, so you won't receive any messages that won't put you into active thinking mode, like job related tasks or whatever. If you feel like yeah, good advice, but what if I'll miss something very important? I will tell you this one thing. How to think. What's more important than your own well-being and your own health? Name me just one thing. The task, the question, the answer, the news, any kind of information. What is more important than you feeling great every day? Well, if you have the answer on this question, go enjoy. But for me, my mental and physical state and health is the priority number one. Everything else can actually a little bit wait. Definitely there's days that are different, but majority of the time, 95% of my year, that's exactly how I choose to live. Advice number 3, and this advice will work for you if there is a part of your job connected to social media. For example, you sell something, you produce something, you produce content, or you have a shop in Instagram or whatever, and using social media is a part of your job. Well, mine as well. And the suggestion that I can give you, something that I did myself, is it is really, really hard to limit your time spent in the social media when you open it regularly to check the messages, or just to talk to clients, or to post the content that you created. But I found that using Instagram on a desktop, it's actually absolutely awfully boring when it comes to scrolling, but it's absolutely efficient when it comes to communication with the clients, for example. So that's solution number 1. Solution number 2 is to actually give yourself a promise that I'm opening this app to post. Once it's done, I'm out. Also, solution number 3 is to use services that allows you to do auto posting in all social media altogether. It costs a little bit, like $20 per month something, but generally it's very efficient, especially if you create content for a couple of platforms simultaneously, and you can just basically put the video with description, everything, set up the specific date and time when it will be published, and publish like this for the whole week in advance or a couple of weeks in advance, and basically the whole content creation is done for you, and you don't need to go there and check all the time. You don't need to go there and for example, just post the video exactly in this moment of time. So that's something very useful, these little tips and tricks that actually helps. Another advice is very simple. Don't keep your phone near your bed. Put it on charge somewhere better, in a different room, in the kitchen, in the living room, or whatever, far from your bed. Not because I believe in some magnetic fields and blah, 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 but because when you wake up, you don't want to reach for your phone first thing in the morning. If you need to see the time, you just put there a digital clock or whatever, but it will also give you this gap of time in the morning without phone, where your mind is peaceful and clear, and trust me, you'll be so grateful for that. And my last advice, and probably it's going to be the most complicated ones, because this will require you not only to use your willpower, not only to use your motivation, but to actually use your consciousness, which means that once you understand what kind of downsides of using social media, there's a choice in front of you to either keep doing these harmful behaviors, hope for the best, and just accept yourself being a victim of the modern age, or not being able to control it, or take control in your hands and take actually responsibility for your actions and consciously choose differently every single day. There is no other solution up until the habit will be broken. So latest research shows that it takes around 66 days to create or break a habit. 66 days of continuous day-to-day, every day, same decisions and same actions, which means that you can literally just find yourself being in front of the decision, like, I am bored, what should I do? Opening the phone and just scrolling through reels is super easy. It will give me this entertainment straight away, super cheap, super easy for me, but I know that it's not really good for my brain, it's not really good for my intelligence level, everything that we already discussed with you today. So but it means that this is the moment when you can take responsibility for your actions, for your life, and actually make a decision that will serve you better. AKA, you can go for a walk, you can open a book, even if you really struggle to stay focused on the content that you're grasping from the book. You can journal, you can paint, you can do any kind of hobby that you like doing, like knitting, or you can call a friend, you can have a conversation with someone, you can, I don't know, go to whatever event. You can push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. You can entertain yourself in a different way. You can get this information from a different source. You can put a little bit more effort. And the great bonus that you will receive is that instead of this half-frozen, almost beef, half paper cutlet, you will get a real nice juicy steak of dopamine, which means that why we think that before we used to be more happy and more fulfilled in our teenage years, in our child years, and also just like freaking 10 years ago, we were more fulfilled with life. Why so? Because we've been doing actions that brings us this more expensive, more lasting dopamine. Finishing a book will give you a bigger sensation of achievement, a bigger sensation of value that you received compared to a couple of videos that you watched. Going for a walk and doing something active, which is good for your body, which is good for your mental state, for your brain, will make you feel so much better long term. Just trust me, if you'll be going for a walk every day for 2 months, at least like, I don't know, 15 minutes, you will not only make your steps progress, but also your body will change, your mental state will change, your nervous system will change. You'll find yourself being more balanced, peaceful, less anxious, less aggressive. In general, you'll find yourself in a much better place rather than just, laying on the couch and, again, scrolling. You will also find out that your focus is coming back to you. It's easier for you, for example, to just eat when you eat without a podcast or without a series or any entertaining video. You'll find out that it's easier for you to focus when you talk to people. It will be easier for you to stay present in the moment, to comprehend what they're saying, to react, because also our emotional system gets numb when we get triggered, when our emotions got triggered all the time. That's the main issue, and actually a very important part of the information that I didn't share with you. A third reason why social media, specifically a short form content, social media is so addictive, because when we watch this content, majority of cases we've been shown viral content, and what makes it viral is that it makes us feel feelings. And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, if it's about the greatest book in the world, or it's just body shaming some person, or it shows the hurricane in some city, or it's actually a very valuable and very unique piece of content that you've been searching for. If it makes you feel feelings, it will push your emotional buttons inside. And we weren't really built to feel that much feelings in such a short period of time, because when you scroll, you feel happy, sad, concerned, angry, anxious, triggered, happy, falling in love, I don't know, like ecstatic, and then angry again. And it's like a freaking emotional slot machine that you don't know what kind of emotion you will be feeling next, and you don't even have enough time to process what you're feeling. You jump into next piece of content straight away. It makes your emotional system numb. If it's getting way too much triggered, eventually it gets numb. That's why it's harder for you to be happy right now, to feel content, to feel love, to express your emotions. That's why everything starts to look gray for you. There is no colors. There's not that many colors anymore in life. So when you will keep doing those conscious decisions that will serve you better when it comes to social media and overall usage of technology, you will find yourself being not only more in peace and stable, but also your normal emotional response will come back, which is not that roller coaster, very short term, but very powerful feelings, but more calm, but more lasting feelings that actually will help you to build your life in the best way possible. So I hope this information was helpful. I would be really, really grateful for any kind of comments and any kind of suggestions. Even if you don't like this content, well, I am open for any kind of opinions. It will help me to improve and get better. And if you notice, as a disclaimer in the beginning said, this video will be done with the minimum cuts and no music on the background, no flashy boom, 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 boom things. No cuts, no examples from TikTok or Instagram or any other video. And I want you to ask the question, why? Thank you, and I see you in the next videos.